Wow, wowie wow, 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 oh my OMG, wow. We hit 1 year on this platform, and this has exploded way more than I thought it would. And quite frankly, I just wanted to take just a second to thank everyone. Apologize because my schedule has kind of just blown up. And I wanted to kind of introduce myself and say hello. Say hello to you little meatbag on the other side of the screen. And you know what? Stay tuned because we are gonna do uh, uh, a face reveal. I've said it, and now I've locked into this decision because it doesn't fucking matter what I look like. The whole point of this platform doesn't matter. That's not why I'm doing this. But we got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get into it. First off, my God, has it been a year? Uh, I have been at the lowest points in my life that I think I ever have, and I just wanted to take a moment to kind of recognize mental health for what it is. I had a very long battle with my mental health. I was in and out of rehab for a few years after my father's suicide, which is a whole other thing in of itself. I kind of grew up in an abusive household, and towards the end of his life, he tried to apologize for everything, and I wasn't ready. And then, he unplugged, and it really messed with me. It really did. So I struggled with that, and kind of destroyed my marriage, and this kind of all happened at the start of me starting this platform. So first off, I just wanted to thank CZ Games. He's kind of the first active member in the community, and and I lost a lot of my real life friends, and it's been wonderful to make new ones online with you guys. I do want to kind of take note that Days Doorways, a guy that you see in my chats sometimes, he's about the only person I still know in real life that's a friend. So yeah, I don't know. It's been really hard going through my divorce, and I met a lot of people doing this, and it's been amazing. And I wanted to, kind of mention some of the OGs of the channel, like Luke. Luke was kind of the first big in every chat room and talking, and then life kind of took him away for a minute. And, he responds every once in a while. I just want to say, hey, Luke. Thanks for sticking in there, dude. I appreciate that you're still in the community. It means a lot to me. I think you kind of showed me that I can at least make money doing this. Because he's the first person to purchase merch, which I have a merch store, and you can purchase stuff, and I buy it, and it's good quality. I need to do more designs. I'm sorry. New poster in the store to celebrate the first year anniversary. So check that out. Helps me out a little bit. Makes my budget a little less tight. Lets me invest in cool little knickknacks for money, which is a whole other thing we'll get into in a minute, because I also need to acknowledge a bunch of other people. Bailey and her sister Lainey went through some crazy stuff, and I'm glad they're still sticking around and they're kicking out. And thanks for being part of the community. Peach, kind of trickles in to chat every once in a while. Uh, I have never gotten an answer on the identity of Peach. So Peach is just Peach, and I appreciate that you have existed in my chat for as long as you have. Thank you, Peach. Psycho, American Psycho, one of the newer guys. He's in here all the time. Thanks for kicking out, dude. Thanks for checking in on me. That's amazing. Just making sure I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. My schedule's just kind of been nuts. We'll get into it in a minute. Who else? Nerdcube, my guy. Good vibes. Two of the coolest young. God. I'm sorry. Some of your names are escaping me. I've met a lot of people. But I've met a bunch of devs. Good vibes. Coke, my bro. Thanks for kicking out. Thanks for being a part of the community. Con came in and built a whole Discord community for me, which was amazing. Really appreciate that. It probably didn't. He did it in a day, so it probably wasn't intense. But he's definitely been doing it before, so I appreciate the expertise that he has lended to the community. We do video game stuff. That's all what this channel is about. So, I'm a solo dev. I guess I'll go into, my kind of experience in the industry. So, I started as like a Flash game dev. Kind of doing really shitty Flash games that I'm glad I don't have copies of anymore. And I hope that they never see the light of day. Quite frankly. But, from there, I decided to kind of pursue school as early as, like, high school, kind of specializing classes for video game development. It's never really paid the bills, so I've done repair work. I was doing computer repair up until probably college. And from there, I had some weird runarounds in the wild working world. And I started working up at the casino as a slot technician. And COVID happened, and I became an appliance technician. And then I got a bunch of certifications for like welding and brazing to fix appliances. And I've done really well in it. And yeah, so that's a little bit of my work experience. But in college, I kind of specialized in like video game related programs. Programming, art, pretty much anything I could get a hold of. I think I ended with an associate's in computer science and a bachelor's in fine arts at two different, community college and a university. And it was fun. I learned a lot. From there, I worked with a group in college called Fourth Access, and we were working with the Oculus Dev Kit 6. I guess I should have mentioned I was in a trade school for video games in high school. And we worked with EEG helmets where it would like read brain waves. And the Oculus Dev Kit 2, I think, is what it was back then. And the best we could do was put together an island where you could walk through it, kind of using like full dive VR, which was awesome. That was an amazing experience. But from there, I started working with a group in college called Fourth Access, or we founded it, or whatever. Either way, we were going to do a VR RPG. We're working with the Oculus Dev Kit 4, I think is what the other guy had. And it was a really cool headset. I definitely think VR has a ways to go. And I'm definitely interested in going back to kind of what I've done in high school with full dive VR. I'd like to revisit it with my studio that I ended up opening after I realized virtually nobody will fucking talk to you in the industry. And then I realized you kind of get paid shit, which is why I started learning a bunch of trades. So that's how I ended up doing appliance repair. But either way, it's paid for my studio. I bought most of my software outright when you could do that. You can't really do that anymore. So most of my studio cost has been paid for. I mean, early on, I was shelling out like 12 to 1600 just in software costs, but now I've gotten it down pretty low. And I'm a gamer too. I recognize a lot of the shortcomings in the field, and I really, if I were to start a studio, which is kind of what I've wanted to do when I was a kid, I wanted to prioritize, video games. What a wild concept. But when you really peek behind the curtain, you start realizing that I would say probably 60% of fucking profit margins on video games go to non-development related costs. And then on top of that, a lot of these studios have become such a Goliath that there's too many moving parts. It's hard to create experience that you want to kind of pick back up and play through. I'm not saying all games are bad. I don't know. The quality hasn't been there since video games became a corporate infrastructure. They started instituting a corporate infrastructure, which was needed to an extent because video game design was kind of sink or swim. That's why you see a lot of studios like Konami, where they pool a lot of their resources into non-video game related categories. And that's part of the reason I ended up becoming a slot technician. Long story short. But, those casinos will pay out like $6 to upwards of $80,000 on these machines, and that's not including the software. That's just the machine case. So it's kind of nuts, and most of them just end up renting most of these machines because they cycle out so quickly. So my thought was kind of going with Konami to help fund my game instead of begging on the internet like a fucking bum, and pulling up my bootstraps and getting a real job and funding things that way, which it has come with its challenges for sure. But, sorry, this video isn't scripted. I've tried to script it like the past week or two, and it hasn't come out that way. So I'm going to ramble on for however long I'm going to ramble on for, and, I do apologize ahead of time. But, so Konami makes a lot of its money through slot machines, so it kind of led me to think, well, video game studios They operate a lot of expensive equipment that can do a variety of different things. So since I kind of got laid off from the casinos during COVID, I when I got into appliance repair, I'm realizing that like a lot of the tradespeople are gone. Nobody wants to do manual labor, that blue collar work anymore. So it's in dire need of people, and especially software. Software is so old. A lot of this stuff is probably built in the 60s by people that didn't know anything about what they were designing. They were just given instructions by random people. I don't know. The whole software design industry is kind of nuts. Like software engineers, a lot of times you're just building problems to make problems. It's nuts. Either way, I've approached my studio, or at least since I've transitioned my business from repair to design, is I've kind of positioned myself to do graphic design related stuff to help fund the studio. I always appreciate donations from fans, but I definitely tell you, it's not required. I'm not hurting for money at all. I just went through a divorce and it just sucks. I had a house and, we're talking again and things are going well. But it's acorning money trying to figure out where I'm gonna open my video game studio. So I think I'm officially opening in Colorado. So I found a young lad that's starting his appliance repair business and really wants to do it right. And has worked long enough in that field to know all the bullshit that comes with it. And there is bullshit, believe you me. But he's all about doing the repairs right, testing everything correctly, treating the customer right, and I'm for it. I think he's got the right attitude. I would love being a part of it. But it's put me in a position where I'm basically building two businesses. So I am a little bit busier. I will be a little bit busier. I'm trying to build a schedule and kind of regulate everything, so you're not going to see regular uploads for me for a little bit. I really haven't touched Grim. I'm kind of catching up on some of the games that have released since I've been focusing on life. I've been checking out Stellar Blade. I got me a copy of Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 3. And let me tell you, I'm kind of disappointed. I missed the jet skis. That was the shit. I don't think it's in this one. I haven't played that much. I got Starfield. I've been playing a lot of Pal World. Reorganizing stuff. I got new office space, so been able to expand my living quarters just a little bit. I invested in some equipment that's going to make me money and allow me to be able to see you wonderful people on the end of this little computer screen. I can just touch you. I can touch you with my little fingies, my little tendrils. Yeah, so where are we? Alright, so experience, what I do for work, plans for the studio. So yeah, let's talk about that. If you've kind of studied how a lot of these major media corporations have been founded, a lot of them kind of sat down in a coffee shop or somewhere and just wrote out like millions of ideas. So that's when I decided that I wasn't gonna work for people, I was gonna try to build my own collective of, you know, my own guild of developers, if you will. You know, before I decided that, I wasn't really sure. I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. So after all those guys kind of moved out of Colorado, which is where I'm based out of, I mean, they kind of play a whole other thing. I don't want to trash other developers. That's not my place. But either way, after that, I just started writing down, like, I have over 100 design documents for various games. Grim is kind of a culmination of what I was trying to do right after college, but kind of scaling back some of the complexity of coding. And I'm no master at coding in Unreal. I've coded, like I've been taught traditional like code, C++. I'm still unfamiliar with a lot of Unreal's interfaces and how everything's built. So I really want to create a good product for you. I want to make a good game, or a game that I appreciate. But yeah, it is a culmination of a lot of things that I've been trying to do since I've graduated. And it's using a lot of assets from projects that have just been sitting on the shelf. Not that I won't touch those projects again. I'm just trying to build something that's going to be easy for me to finish, which is a huge order, because, you know, switching from Flash games to 3D is just, it's been a whirlwind. And then knowing that I want to add story, and I want to have bosses, and you know, fan inspired stuff. I don't know. I wanted to do it a little bit differently, so I created this avatar. I was sitting in one of my art classes, and it was a self-portrait, and while she was explaining the instructions, I just kind of doodled this little robot guy. And this has become my avatar. I articulated it, I modeled it, textured it, whatever. There's issues. I see them when I look at it. You guys probably don't. But you know, it's I figured what I wanted to do was create an avatar where, you know, you could find me in game and we can have conversations, and you know, you can tell me about life, and I may or may not be leaking you know, brain information to my robot superiors. I can't really disclose any of that, but you know, I want to make games that are good, and I you know, I'm gonna do what it's gonna take. If I gotta weld, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm gonna do that if it means getting a better product to you guys. So I mean, obviously Grim's not coming out at the end of the year. What I do want to do is by the end of December, I do want to put the asset package on the Unreal Game Store. So I'll probably make an announcement for that somewhere in the near future. So you can at least run around in Grim if you have the Unreal Engine. But the demo is slotted to be slotted to be kind of a vertical slice of what the game's going to be about. So you know, I want that to operate smoothly, and I want to learn you know, some of the shortcuts that are built into the Unreal Engine, because some of these systems I've been trying to build from scratch, and it's a fucking nightmare. So if we're gonna stream, we may be seeing some tutorial streams. We'll definitely shout out whoever we do tutorials on. Yeah, we'll get back to everything. I would anticipate probably a week or two before I start streaming regularly again. But I am planning on doing some Let's Play streams, so be on the lookout for those. You know, as always, thanks for watching. That's the most important thing to me. You know, tuning into the community, being active, I really appreciate that. If I didn't call out your name at the beginning of the video, holy hell, my phone's going off. If I didn't call out your name at the beginning of the video, I'm so sorry. I have 100 things going on. I will pin all of your comments, and I don't know. I apologize. Your name's just slipping my mind right now, and you're awesome. And I really appreciate everything you guys have done for me, and you know, I look forward to kind of sharing my studio's journey with you guys. This has been, I think, the most thought out plan that I have tried to kind of institute in terms of building a platform and engaging with players. And I think it's amazing that you guys are reaching out and talking to me. I never thought that would be a thing. So, you know, you guys rock. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna probably, you know, edit in a face reveal, you know, photo that'll probably float across the screen in front of my face here. And, you know, as always, hit those buttons, hit that follow, hit the sub, and I will see you in the near future. Thanks for watching.